It's a lovely, cosy log cabin in just one chunk. Would you like to snuggle up under a rug in here, drinking a nice, warm cocoa on a winter's night? I bet you would. I'm going to show you how to make it right now. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, and good night, depending on what time you're watching this next episode from me, Avomance, in my tutorial series. This is a little log cabin, a winter log cabin. I've had this requested from a couple of people asking whether or not we could do a little winter log cabin. And I thought, why don't we do it like it's one chunk? So I've done a one chunk winter log cabin. Now, obviously, the trees and this little pond outside are not in the one chunk, but the entire build itself is within a single chunk, and we've got all kinds of lovely stuff going on inside, like a roaring fire with a big fireplace. We've got a sleeping area, a really cozy area to sit around and drink your hot chocolate, and it is actually pretty nice. And this is how we're going to make it. So the things I'm probably going to use are appearing on the screen now. Various different words, some different stones, and other bits and pieces as well. I'm doing it freestyle, so I may well add a few things to this, and I may well not use some of these things. It sort of depends how I feel as I crack on, but let's get on with it. A one chunk winter cabin. So there we have one chunk, 16 by 16, and I'm not allowed to go outside of that with the building. So what I'm going to do for the log cabiny bit, I'm going to need some overhang. So if I put that there and there, I can then point those into there like that, get rid of that and get rid of that, and then make, right, so that being one, these are extra, that being 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. How much space does that give me? I'm going to go with 9, and then the extra one. Is that right? Which would then put that there like that. That means that the actual house is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Yeah, 9. And then in this direction, we can go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. And that being the extra one, we still get the overhang we need. Coming around here. If I just bring this around like that. Now, what is a real shame with this is that when you place wooden logs on top of each other, you can't really very well see kind of the bordering. What would be really awesome if we had a texture pack where the logs were very slightly curved round at the edges, just ever so slightly, literally 1 pixel would be all it took. Mojang, get yourself a default texture pack where the logs have kind of a just slight curve on the edges. It'll make this build so much easier for me, and I would very much appreciate it. So I'm just going to build this up as a box. I'm not going to put any holes for doors or anything like that in it at the moment, because I need to visualize exactly how it's going to look and how big it's going to be and what we're going to include in it. So because I'm not entirely sure yet, but we're going to get that there like that, and we're going to carry on. I'm going to do this, I think, 5 high. So I'll be back when I've literally just made this box 5 laying down logs high. So we've got it 5 high now. That's looking all right. And then what I want to do is just off center, which is not something I normally do. I want to come out with a doorway. So it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So it'll be there and there. Does that look about right? Yeah. And I'm going to come out to there, and I'm going to build 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3 like that, and then bring those in like that, and then bring that over and across, and that is going to be kind of like an entranceway, so we can get rid of that like that, and that can become a post like that. Okay, so now if I look, this is kind of the shape we're going to give ourselves. You can see it sort of works quite well there. I might well put that sideways like that, so it's another log. It's probably going to lose visibility anyway, so it won't matter. But I think we're sort of starting to see the kind of shape that I'm going to have. And then on this, is it this side? Yes, on this side here, I'm going to be shoving where the chimney stack area is going to be, which is, I'm going to make a hole that's 3 wide like that, and we're going to, around that, we're going to have probably to there, I think. Yeah, so for now what I'm going to do is, again, this is all sort of semi-temporary. I'm just going to build this up here like that, just to give me a feel for where that is going to be, like that inside. And then in here, this will become, you know, the actual fire area. So what I'll do is, let me just, I might use netherrack. I know this is a massive gamble, but I might use netherrack. Make sure fire tick is turned well off. These are going to have to come out, as are they. They can become brick like that, and I'll could even make it brick all the way around, actually, couldn't you? There we go. How about that? That could look quite cool there, the half being all stony and the brick like that, and then we can just let me just temporarily put this in here to see how it looks, and then put that in there like that, and we could then bring out almost like a fireplace. There, and there. That might be okay. We're going to have a play with that and see how that looks in a bit. But what I now want to do is I want to start to get a roof on, and I've got to think about how this roof is going to look. So what I've decided to do is, on the front of this here, we've got a standard 12-12 roof on that fella, and on these we've come down to the level of the top row of logs and done very nearly a 12-12, but I've just shoved, to make it a slightly more interesting shape, a block in there. It's also going to give us the ability to fancy up the roof just a little bit. So I'm thinking, given that we've used oak logs, I might go with a little bit of dark oak stairs to put this fella together like this. I'm just going to see what it looks like with the bottom row here. In fact, oh, for goodness sake, the fact it is one step away from the wall makes it more difficult to place, but that is okay. Yeah, I think that's going to be all right. Let's just do a second row here. So I need to be mindful of bringing that chimney up and through as well, obviously, because that's going to be a feature of the build, is that chimney. It's got room to come out one more if we wanted it to. We probably will. So if I, again, temporarily, if I get this fella coming all the way up, I need to detail this far more, obviously, but that is, I think, going to be where we go with it. I think that will work like that, and there I just need to detail that up a little bit more. So let's just say, for the sake of argument, we come up like this. We won't, but let's just, for modelling purposes, let's get that sort of looking like that. I need to make that far more of a nice shape, but I think we'll just crack on, get this roof on, then we can start to distinguish where we're going to put things like windows and all that kind of stuff, to get a much nicer and more completed shape with the entire build. Where's my dark oak? There we go. So if I shove this roof on, and I'll be back when I've done it. So the roof is pretty much done. We're going to put some more detail into this and give it some more texture in a bit. The chimney is there. Again, more detail going to go into that now. That's just structural at the moment. but I think the overlap works quite well. I changed the trim from cobble to stone brick, you can see there, because I just wanted more differentiation with the chimney stack, even though we are going to play around with that a little bit. And that there is beautifully overlapping and just sneaks into the top of the roof the way that comes in. I like that very much. So what we're going to do is we're going to look at how we're going to put some windows in here now, because you can see here windows are going to be quite a challenge. It's only one chunk big, and as a result we've not got a lot of space. So I'm not going to put any windows on this bit here. We're going to put something else there perhaps, but what we are obviously going to do is need a few windows here. So if we take out those 6 blocks there, come along here, what I want to do is if I take out that and that and that, and then come along that and that, how does that affect? No, that's okay, and that leaves us with those two like that. I think that's how we're going to go. We're going to put windows in like that, and what I'm going to do, I'm going to leave the bare log like that, definitely. I'm going to get some grey stained glass, and I'm going to put the grey stained glass into the holes there and there. That looks quite nice, I'm very happy with that. And then similarly here with this big old window, we're going to shove that like that. We're then going to get spruce stairs upside down like that, because the spruce stairs contrast, well, rather than contrast, they mould themselves in very nicely to the oak log effect. So if we can just do that like that, so we've got some nice detail there already starting to come across. So if we pull away, you can see that the cabin is starting to take shape all within that one chunk space. So the next thing I want to do is to come inside and work out exactly how we're going to fill in these end bits. Now this bit is all very chimney like. This bit is obviously just a grand wall. What I don't want to do is make it too blocky, but similarly if I come all the way in here, it could look a little bit odd. So I am actually going to carry on the space here, and I'm somehow, not entirely sure how at the moment, but I'm somehow going to stock it looking blocking. We're going to use stripped oak wood for it. I'm going to make sure we do it all in the right direction like that. Now we are going to make again some holes where there are currently not going to be holes, but let's just block it in for now, and we'll get ourselves all sorted once we know what we're going to do. The joy of making these freehand builds is that you can pretty much do it however you want. So if I make sure they're all going in the right direction, if I block out next to the chimney, that still maintains that chimney breast effect. I might need to do something else. I might have to come out a little bit, because that needs to be proud of that wall, I think. For me, definitely does. Let's also do it here like that. That blocks all of that in too, and I think we're starting to get what could be quite a nice looking shape. I like the way that stripped oak works. It looks really, really nice. I'm also going to use stripped oak for the floor, and the reason being, I like the idea of having a wooden floor that we can perhaps put a little bit of a rug in, which is always good in a winter cabin. It's going to be a very cosy cabin. It's not very big at all, but we have only got one chunk to play with. But if we put in stripped oak rather than planks, I wonder whether or not it might look quite nice. So just fill that hole in. If I run it along like that, let's see how it looks. It will create kind of a planking effect anyway, because it's got this natural line to the edge of it on the stripped wood. Just continue to make the floor like that. Still going. We are there, and there. And then we obviously have to get rid of this bit as well. There, and there. That is going to be where the door goes, so we're going to want we're going to block that out. So just for the time being, let's put it in there, and we may change it, not sure. I think that looks all right. What do you think, people? In the comments below, do you like the effect of that wood, or do you think planks would be better? I'm fairly confident we're onto a winner there. What I might just do here, I just want to try something. If I put that like that, how does that look? I like it a lot. That's how it looks. That's good. Okay, so we've got quite a nice looking fireplace, which is an absolute essential in a log cabin, isn't it? Let's face it. That's kind of the only reason you go to a log cabin, is to sit in front of a fire, or with a bearskin rug or something like that. I do need to do something with that chimney breast. Not sure what yet. I'll come back to that in a bit. But all in all, I think that's worked out all right inside there. Now, I'm going to use, again, I think I might use the stripped oak there and there. Let's see how this works out. This may not work. This may not work. So let's just pop that in like that and like that. If I then get a door, and I think the spruce door is probably the right fella, and put that there like that. I think yes. What do you think? I think that is a yes. I am going to get some grey stained glass block though. I think light grey stained glass block, yeah. And I'm going to put it there and there, because I think we need to have glass there rather than just a solid block. It just looks a little better. It's more likely to have something like that. So if we come inside, so this is how it looks internally at the moment. I think it worked out quite well. And externally, we are doing something along the lines of that, and it's all right. Still very, very plain. We've got to sort out the plainness. I absolutely agree. This has definitely got to change, because that is way too flat. In fact, what we're going to do is we're going to open up. I wonder what we could do there. Actually, no, I've changed my mind. I wonder if we could bring something out. How long have we got? We've got two. Hang on, where's my thing? We've got two wide that we can play with. I wonder if we could do something there with some oak fence across this way. If I then, not sure I like that, so let's block that off and that off. And if I do something here, actually we could be onto something there, people. Right, let me have a ponder and I'll be back in a minute. So I think we've made what's a not too bad little platform up here. It maintains the log effect underneath the door, which I quite like. Because of the limited footprint, we can only really have kind of a ladder going up to the top level, but at least it gives us somewhere that we can put like a little bedroom and things like that, and maintain this area in here for more living space. I've brought out the I've hit my head. I've brought out the chimney breast up like that, which I think looks pretty good. I'm happy with that so far. We can probably do something with that. I don't know, just to increase the aesthetics. A little flat here at the moment. We perhaps need to put some kind of mantle on there. Could we put like a mantle on there like that? That sort of thing. I think that could look quite nicely. I don't think that's going to be affected by fire tick, so we should be okay. I've only lobbed these torches in here just to keep it lit up, because at the minute I just couldn't see what was going on, frankly. So coming outside, I do want to start putting in a little bit more detail, because at the moment these are all a little bit flat. I've underpinned the sides here. Oh, I didn't put one in there though. There we go. I've underpinned the sides here just a little bit, so as we've got some solid feel underneath the roof, because it was just a little bit open. I haven't done it here because the chimney obviously is in the way, and this chimney has crept up with a little bit more shape and a top that I think looks quite good there. So now it's details time. And for details, I need to put some green, basically get some greenery on it to get some depth and a little bit of something here, because that is really, really quite bland. And then inside, we also need to do something with this area here, because obviously this is going to be a living space and it just needs to look quite nice. So I've got some thoughts and I'll be back when I've done some. So we've got quite a decent bit of detail now on the outside. We've got ourselves a little icy pond with a path going up, some flowers, etc. A little torch above the door to welcome us on the way in. Flowers continuing around the outside. The windows are looking really quite pretty with some stuff on windowsills and a little bit of greenery. You can see inside the fire is on. That's the porchway at the top there. The fire is on, so let's take a little look inside. Coming inside, we've got the fire is on. We've got stuff above the mantelpiece now, some greenery inside, a nice rug that underneath we've got a little bit of glowstone just to give some light. Some nice pretty stuffs on the inside, and then coming upstairs, we've got our sleeping area with some storage, furnaces, more decoration. I think it's come out all right. We can come and stand on the outside here, look out across all of the snow. There's an awful lot of snow, and that, I do believe, is a decent job. Now, it just needs to look a little bit snowed on and be almost certainly in a foresty area, so it's time to complete it. So just to finish it off, we've shaved a load of trees, mostly spruce, just the odd oak all around it, and it's like in a little tree glade. Imagine this forest goes on forever. I wasn't going to plant a million trees, otherwise this won't be out until Easter, this particular video, and then a winter cabin really isn't quite what we're looking for. We've expanded outside of the singular chunk because this is obviously decoration, but within the chunk we are still 16 by 16. It is a one chunk winter log cabin. I think it came out pretty well. Very, very pleased with it. You could possibly do something with it yourself. Put more snow on the roof maybe. Put more smoke coming out the chimney. Redesign it how you would like. I'd be very interested to know what you did. So there you have it, one log cabin, and it is entirely log apart from obviously the trim on the roof. And I think it'd be really cosy to be sat in this log cabin with that fire roaring, drinking hot chocolate or something like that. If you have enjoyed this video, please do remember to slap that like button. It'd be great to know you're enjoying it, and I'll keep on making them. And also, if you've not done it already, hit that subscribe button. It'd be great to see you in my sub club, and I look forward to seeing you in another video. You take it easy now. Bye.